Hey, what's going on? Glad you're here. You got good timing. I know, I've said that before, right? But you do, because I was just about to start talking about this guitar here, and this one is a little on the special side. Alright? A little. It's not 59 Les Paul special, but it's a little special. Anyway, before I jump into it, you know where you are. This is RJ's Cave, and if you like this video, hit the like button. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, please. All right? That way, you get messages whenever we drop a new video, all right? So, anyway, why is this guitar special, right? That's what you want to know. RJ, what's going on? Why is this guitar special? Well, this is an Aria Pro II electric guitar. Now, if you look them up, you're going to say, all right, but that's, they make them. They're, Asian guitars. Yeah, but this one's from 1987, okay? And it's one of the few made in 1987. That was the last few that were made in this particular factory in Japan for this company. So there is some, it's mildly collectible, this guitar. It's not one of those Japanese made Squires that you hear about from the 80s that everybody wants, that are just as expensive as any other Fender guitar because of the level of quality when they were made and the demand that people have for them now. So it's not one of those. This is one of the ones that's like, oh, this was also made in those factories, one of those factories, and it's part of the reason why the other guitars were so cheap back in the day, because mass production. So, but this is, when I say mildly collectible, it's not about money. You're not going to get an investment out of this. But for the history, it's collectible. If you keep it in your collection and you don't molest it, it can kind of be cool to have. It is one of those super shredders from that time. So, but and it's not one of the greatest ones. But we're getting into that, okay? So, really quick, the story with this guitar for me is, it is actually one of those guitars that if you've been listening to or watching my other videos, you may have heard the story of how I picked up a bunch of guitars that were in need of repair from a pawn shop that had a bunch of them and needed to get rid of them. So this is actually one of those. This was the one guitar that didn't have the Tune-o-matic style bridge that was missing. This one had a Floyd Rose inspired tremolo that was made with a cheap block that broke, so it couldn't be used. All right. So what I mean is, okay, this is a type of tremolo that sits above the body like a Floyd Rose. Okay. It doesn't have those tuners that stick out the back, those fine tuners. It doesn't have those, right? A Floyd Rose does. So that's the real main difference there. Also, the quality. Now this part's fine. This block is made like any other cheap block for any other Strat style. It's the same kind of design, it's a Strat style tremolo. It's the same kind of design as those. So what happened here is it's made with cheap pop metal, and it's very thin, as you can see. All right. So, and this is a tremolo that goes both ways. This isn't just like one that goes this way. This one goes this way and this way. So when some people, when they're playing this kind of tremolo, they abuse it. Well, and I don't mean literally they abuse it. They use it as hard as they can, and they go both ways with it. Do the Eddie Van Halen thing and whatnot. So this cheap metal starts to crack until it gives way. So when I got this bar wasn't there. I had to order that, and I had to get a nut and glue that nut on there so that I could use this tremolo while I looked for an option. I examined all my options, excuse me, to get fix it or get it replaced. Turns out, having one machined, custom machined, because no one's going to sell these blocks for this, to have one machine is going to cost about $200. So, well, maybe in the future, we'll see. So we hold on to it because this tremolo is actually proprietary to the factory that made the guitar, not necessarily to Aria Pro II. If anyone knows better than me, please let me know in the comments, okay? So, holding on to this is imperative because it's branded very specifically, which will let people know that this was indeed made as one of the last ones in the Japanese factory, okay? The other thing is the serial number, but in this case, the serial number on this guitar says it's made in 1987, and as far as the general information is, this guitar wasn't made in that factory, but it has the right tremolo, so it indeed was. It was just one of the last ones. So it has an early 1987 number on the back. That's what it is. So, but without having this, and only having the serial number, people are just going to say, well, it's an 87, so it wasn't made there. Okay, so this is important. There's a little collector's lesson for you there. So I managed to pick up a tremolo for this. Okay, this is a Schaller style. That's the brand, Schaller. Okay, they're in Germany. They make a great tremolo with plenty of hard steel parts. Now the guitar sings like it never did before. Doesn't stay in tune though. That's not the tremolo's fault. That's the plastic nut. Okay, so now before I go any further, a quick review of this instrument as it sits and as it was with that tremolo is more or less going to be the same. So the guitar sounds pretty good. It plays really good, even though the frets are a little low, so it could use a little bit of fret work. It doesn't stay in tune when you dive bomb. Use that tremolo at all and it goes right out of tune. And it can stay that way. So it needs to get fixed. So, but it's a plastic nut, so what maybe the best thing to do would be replace it with a graphite one, right? Now, the tuners on this are Aria Pro II branded, and they work pretty well. They're not superstar tuners they're not the superstar tuners that we have today, where we have different ratios and different string posts, heights, and all that stuff. This is just solid tuners, solid quality tuners that do the job well, right? And oh yeah, I forgot to mention now pickups, right? The pickups, it's got single humbucker, okay? Single humbucker. Now, the humbucker is just a little bit on the hot side, not too much. So when you split it, because it's actually splittable, when you pull the tone knob up, okay, when you pull it up, you are now in a single coil mode. The switching works as single coil. All right, so, but they're not all that hot, you know. When you're doing coil splitting, for back then in '87, having the coil splitting was pretty cool. That was generally a more expensive add-on. But having it with these pickups, not necessarily the greatest idea. You're showing off an idea and saying, look what we have on our guitar, but it's not, the pickups aren't meant to do that well. So it comes up a little lacking, right? So another thing I would do here if I was going to fix the guitar would be the pickups. I would do the nut, I would do the pickups. I would keep the tuners, and I would clean up the pots and the switches, and I might actually upgrade some of that too. If I didn't have this as a collectible, a light collectible, a beginner's collectible, an entry level one, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, so guys, that's something I want us to do, all right? I want you guys to put in the comments anything you think that I should or should. First off, I want you to let me know if you think I should or shouldn't further mod this guitar, okay? That's number one. Number two, what mod do you think I should do, okay? Should I do everything that I mentioned here? Should I do anything else, right? I didn't mention strap locks, right? So should I upgrade the tuners anyway? All right, you guys let me know. And you know, give me some ideas what we should do. You know, I have some information on companies that make pickups that go really good at this, and some new switching options and stuff like that. So anyway, guys, listen, thank you. I want to end it here, okay? And don't forget, like, subscribe, notify. Okay, all that good stuff that helps you, that helps the channel. Together we grow, right? All that stuff. Don't forget, when you're out there learning music, you're actually learning how to make magic. Okay, guys, I know that sounds sappy, but it really is true, because if you know how to play a song, you could change somebody's day in a heartbeat. All right, so consider that. Go out, learn how to make music so you can learn how to make magic. All right, this is RJ's Cave. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you next time. Later.